Hi, what's up? This is James Winnningham, reporting for Mr. Sutherland's class. Speech number 4, Learning a Backflip by James Winnningham. Things you must have: imagination, courage, and perseverance. You must imagine the success and for it to happen. You'll need courage to attempt it, and you have to persevere after your failure. Things that you can't have. Things that you can't have: bad vibes, being scared, and bad footwear. Bad vibes will deter you from being fully concentrated. You must give it your very best. If you're worried, you cannot. Proper footwear is important because you need good grip and good cushion for your landings. I had troubles on the rotations. You can see here the mats, and I was working with my little sister. Having a long frame requires you to have more speed when you turn, making it harder to rotate. I received some help from my little sister, who is a cheerleader. A backflip can be devastating. Backflips can be very dangerous, and they can also be devastating depending on how you land. I would suggest keeping your arms inwards, and the most common injuries are to the neck and to the wrists. I would say it really just depends on how hard you fall. Not only is the backflip cool, it's very resourceful. This is a good example because it's proven to be surprisingly useful in combat, not only as an attack, but as for evading, like to get away from your opponent as well. The top figure is the hardest part because it makes you very nauseous. This figure above represents the stages of the backflip well. The backflip consists of 3 main points: the takeoff, the tuck, and the landing. In that order, they're achieved, says Mr. Kevins from legendarystrength.com. I remember how Limburg yoga fans are, and I decided to implement a yoga-style stretch into my workout routine. I believe that it increases flexibility and peacefulness. Thank you, yoga. This next slide shows me doing a back handspring, which is pretty similar to the backflip. After multiple efforts to do the backflip and continuously failing, I decided to try something different so I wouldn't get so burnt out on that one direct failure, because I failed this too a little bit, but I got an understanding for it rather quickly. Parkour, also known as free running, is basically a race on the go. You try to be like as cool as you can going on these different hard obstacles. It requires you to do tricks in order to be the fastest. My parkour was running across the roof and jumping down to the ground. Pool practice allowed me to attempt it very safely. Pool practice is very relaxing, easy, and you get a easy 3 feet bonus from the board when you jump up. There's about a 2-foot drop to the water level, so it gives you plenty of time for clearance, plenty of rotation time. You can also practice your flips upside down in the water. The trampoline practice gave me the boost that I really needed. It's very insightful and worry-free. I mastered the tuck here. A back tuck is much more than jumping in the air and tucking your legs up. In order to rotate, you'll have to lift your hips up and over your head, said Dr. Dewson from liveabout.com. From a young age, I noticed Bruce Lee and how he was like the best and the coolest warrior. And I remember seeing, when I was a kid, Enter the Dragon and his other movies, seeing his flips and how great of a gymnast he was. I wore helmets and I used mats for safety because, after all, safety is pretty important. When attempting a backflip, safety is very important. I believed a bike helmet was thick enough, but if you're worried, I'd recommend a football helmet. The mats are lifesavers, literally. After trying without one, you'll realize the mats that are very important to be safe and comfortable. I was scared and I built up anxiety. In my experience, the faster you attempt it, the faster you'll learn. I was scared and I started to overthink something that isn't all that complex. After trying and examining my fails, I was able to rid myself of the anxiety I built up. I practiced box jumping to increase my jumps power. Box jumping was a great exercise to get your jump higher. Power develops in planes specific, and seeing as the deadlifts and the jump largely mimic each other, teaching your body to get faster with speed deadlifts will drastically improve your vertical health. A quote from Sayat Fitness. I failed multiple times at first. I tried to do most of my fails safely, like in the pool and the trampoline, but doing the flip standing, it's kind of hard to manage that. With many complications like not as much momentum, not able to fully rotate, or not having enough airtime. My headband, I feel like, gave me the strength to persevere. I'm a firm believer in looking good is feeling good. My headband allowed me to fully concentrate, gave me balance, gave me the strength to complete this backflip. Here's my works cited. Miss Dewson from Live About, Mr. Kevin from Legendary Strength, Miss Morgan Miss Rush from Cron.com, and Sayat Fitness. And I believe that to be the end of my speech. Thank you for your time.